Hi, welcome to this week's weekly vlog, filmed from Cheddar at the end of another busy week, both in Westminster and back down here home in Somerset. Up in Westminster this week, lots of important stuff, but two meetings that I just sort of share. Firstly with the Regional Schools Commissioner, so that I could discuss some of the challenges that our local schools are facing, as well as to report back to her about all the brilliant things many of our local schools are doing. Great meeting with the leader of Somerset County Council. They've done extraordinary things at County Hall in balancing the county's books, so much so that we're now in a position where there might even be money to spend on regrowing some of our local services, and so a discussion with David Fothergill about what that might look like. I also had a question in Prime Minister's Questions this week in order to raise the tragic case of Jackie Luxon, a constituent from Axbridge, who lost her child in a road traffic accident. And at the moment the law doesn't recognise that loss, and so I'm working with the Luxons, their lawyers, stillbirth charities and colleagues in Parliament in order to see if we can get the law changed so that unborn babies are recognised when they lose their lives in that way. Back here in Somerset this morning I had breakfast with the Burnham-on-Sea Chamber of Commerce. Great opportunity just to catch up with them about some of the challenges that they're facing and to understand some of the things that they want to achieve within the Burnham community. Then over to Yeo Valley, who are obviously a big employer in the constituency, but I also wanted to discuss with them things like how do we decarbonise dairy farming, and also how do we make it work for big businesses who want to operate in a rural environment such as this. I've also this week been chairing a whole load of meetings and roundtables in Parliament around the future of heat, and which is a sort of particular policy interest of mine, and how we decarbonise domestic heating, which I might sort of talk about maybe in a later vlog, because it would be remiss not to mention that this week, in fact today, the Prime Minister has resigned, and you know, she goes, I think, at the right time. It's clear that her deal has run out of legs, and that we need some fresh energy and a fresh pair of eyes on the challenge. But it would also be unfair not to recognise that she's put in a heck of a shift. She's been marching into the stiffest of headwinds. She's been determined, she's shown a great sense of duty, and she's been dealing with an almost impossible political task. So as we move forward to select a new leader, and it's right that we're doing so, I just wanted to put on record my thanks for all that she has done. The next chapter of Brexit begins the week after next, when we find out who the Prime Minister will be, when we start to find out who the Prime Minister will be to take us forward and try and get us out of the EU. More next week.